very interesting. Tell our viewers a little bit if there are some areas that you differ from your fellow Republicans.
Well, there are a lot of areas that are different. Number one, I talked about Republican Party writing off large segments of the population. You know, Republicans are their worst enemy. We do things that compromise our ability to win statewide elections. I mean, we don't have any of the congressional seats right now. We've been losing steadily the last 10 years. We haven't held this Senate seat since Lowell Weicker 30 years ago. We must be doing something wrong. But it's hard for Connecticut Republicans to come to the realization that they're doing something wrong. And what we're doing wrong, like I said earlier, is writing off large segments of the population. We got to get our message out. We got to start campaigning in the cities. We should not write off or concede any demographics to the Democrats. I reach out to all demographics. I'm going into the cities. I'm going into churches. I'm going into senior centers. I'm even reaching out to union officials. I don't concede anything to the Democrats because the Democrats have been in control of this state, solely in control of the state the last couple of years, and we've gone downhill just in that short period of time. They've been in control of the state legislature for over 30 years. And look what's happening to this state. The state has gone from being unfriendly to business to being downright anti-business. People are leaving this state left and right. I come across more people who are either in the process of moving out of Connecticut or seriously considering moving out of Connecticut. This is not a good place to retire. It's not a good place for young people, all because the Democrats are destroying this state. And so we got to get more of us, more Republicans elected to get our fiscal house in order so that we can get this state back to where it was before the Democrats started destroying it.
You know, I wasn't thinking of this, but I was brought this along to show a couple of my crew members. My daughter for Christmas, she lives in Tallahassee. She's a professor, and sent me this 101 reasons to live in Florida. And as a joke, I brought it along, and I was asking, gee, I wonder if Connecticut had such a book. And we're all kind of thinking, okay, what are some of the
reasons to be right?
And you mentioned for retiring. I think that this is the most unfriendly state.
Place to retire.
Yeah, it's the highest tax state. Well.
And I used to live in Florida, by the way. And it doesn't have an income tax. I mean, it's nice weather. So there are a lot of good reasons to move to Florida, and a lot of people from Connecticut do move to Florida. I mean, let's just face it.
No, I didn't mean to get off track there, but when you said retirees and young people, it just happened to have the book.
It's also an interesting point. I say this to Democrats. A lot of state workers, when they retire, they get their pension. They don't stay in Connecticut. They go to other states. And most of the times they will go to a state that's controlled by Republicans. Why? Because the cost of living is lower, the taxes are lower, and your money goes along the way in Republican-controlled state. So what is the irony of that? They get a government pension from the state of Connecticut, and they take that money and move out of the state of Connecticut to a state that's Republican-controlled.
Okay. Okay, again, we got a little off track there. Now, again, it's only a 28-minute show. We're kind of running a little late, but it wouldn't be a show without discussing, and again, let's keep it real short, some Obamacare. Are there any parts that you would keep from Obamacare?
I mean, the bill is not 100% bad. It's probably 95% bad. But, you know, it's good that people can't lose their insurance if they have a pre-existing condition. I mean, things like that are good. I believe any health care reform should focus on preventive health. We have an unhealthy society, and we need to focus on preventive health. We need to give doctors incentive to cure people as opposed to giving doctors incentive to keep people medicated. So we need to transform our health care system, and I don't think this Obamacare bill does that, and hopefully the Supreme Court will strike it down.
Now, if you are successful and become our next U.S. Senator, are there some pledges that you'd like to make to our viewers?
I pledge to provide all citizens, all residents of the state of Connecticut, quality service. And, you know, a lot of these candidates are painting themselves as the candidate for the middle class or the candidate for whatever. I want to be a candidate in the United States Senate for all the residents of the state of Connecticut, whether you're rich, poor, middle class, you're union, non-union, educated, uneducated, young, old, male, female, black, white, Hispanic. I promise to provide you the best representation that I can for all residents of the state of Connecticut.
And one question I want to make sure I get in there, even though we are kind of running a little long, term limits.
I'm in favor of term limits, and I talk about that on my website. Like I said, these career politicians are destroying this country, and we need to have some term limits. I would be wholeheartedly in favor of term limits.
Okay. On the term limits, again, just if you can give a brief answer, how would you, particularly with these entrenched politicians, and they obviously don't want to cut the cord, how would you convince them that that's the best thing for America?
Take away their pension.
Okay. Well, I'm speechless.
After a certain time, they lose their pension. They'll retire.
Interesting. You've given a lot of thought. I really like that. If viewers are so inclined, now you gave it before, but we'll give it again, how can they contact you?
It's www.brianKhill.com, B-R-I-A-N, the letter K, and then Hill.com. You can also follow me on Twitter as BKH, the number 4 Senate, S-E-N-A-T-E, or you can follow me on Facebook. It's just Brian K. Hill. This is my Facebook page.
Okay. What about some of the people though that are, ARP members and not up with all this? Do you have a phone number with?
You can call me.
Okay.
It's 860-818-6742, 860-818-6742, and I do pick up the phone.
Okay. And I'll attest to that. You do. Okay. Okay, we're going to wrap up now. Is there any last 1 or 2 things quickly that you might want to, again, tell the folks?
Well, I think this is a very important election. I think for Republicans, we need to be smart about who we nominate as a candidate. We can't keep nominating the same type of candidates and expect to win. We need a candidate that can unify this party. We need a candidate that understands the winning strategy, and we need a candidate that has a positive message. And I'm the only one in this race that fits that bill. And I think the debates clearly made show the distinction between all of the candidates. And we've been getting the most positive feedback after the debates, and that's for a reason.
Okay, good. Okay, we're going to wrap up our show now. Again, I'd like to thank our guest, Brian K. Hill, a candidate for the Republican nomination for the U.S. Senate to fill the retiring Joe Lieberman's seat for appearing on our show. I also want to remind our viewers they can watch our shows on Charter Channel 21, and that's on Mondays at 4:30 and Thursdays at 7 p.m. We also post segments up on YouTube, so you can look for us there. If you don't receive Charter, but of course you wouldn't. Never mind. We'd love to hear from you, whether it be comments on prior shows, current shows, or future shows, or guests that you might like to see. So, and you can contact us at brookfieldpublicadvocate@yahoo.com. Again, thanks for watching, and good night.